My H perm is the standard M2 U prime, M2 U2 prime, M2 U prime, M2. Double flick M2, double flick U2. For UA, which is this case, my algorithm is, well, it is M2, but I execute it as R prime. Put my ring finger here, R wide, and then M prime. U, M, and for that finger trick here, I use my ring finger. U2, M prime, U, and the same M2 finger trick as before. So you move your ring finger here, then you do R wide and M prime at the same time. Again, if you want to do this algorithm, or this case, with the bar on the front instead of the back, you just swap the M and M prime moves. The next case is UB. For this algorithm, you just switch the U's and the U primes. Same finger tricks, except for the last M2, I actually do it as a standard double flick for UB, but not for UA. Again, you can swap the M's and the M primes to do it with the bars on the front. Okay. And finally, Z perm, I just use standard M2 U prime, M2 U prime, M prime U2, M2 U2 M prime. So for AA, which is this case here, headlights on the back, this is my main algorithm. LY prime, U R prime, D2, I can't do double flick D2s most of the time. RU from R prime, D2, R2. Standard algorithm, aside from the fact that I can't do double flick D2s, it's fairly normal. Next algorithm is when you're Y2, so the headlights will be here. That's just the front back mirror. I can double flick my D2s with my hand position here. Okay, so this is the case. D2, D2, R2. Final case I can do for AA is a variation of J perm. So headlights would be on the left and the block in the front, right. Just do a normal J perm, but RY move here, RY move here, and that should solve this case. The next case is AB, headlights on the back, block on the front right. Now for this case, the main two algorithms I'll use are the left-right mirrors of my AA perms, so again no D2 double flex here, and then you have the mirror, which is that. Now another algorithm for this case is when headlights on the right. This is the one I actually use most often. R2, D2, RU R prime, D2, RU prime L. Okay. And finally that leaves me with an E perm. In this case, sort of ones on the right and left. Now from this is just the standard. Now for my D prime moves, I use my left ring finger to push like that. Again, there. So E perm is F perm. This algorithm I use, well, I have 3 algorithms depending on the AUF. I usually actually AUF so that, and then do an algorithm so that I don't have to AUF after PLL instead of not AUFing before, but that's up to personal preference really. So the first algorithm is standard R prime, U prime, F prime, and then a T perm, and then F U R at the end, cancels down to that. second algorithm is one of the bars on the right. This one I use Matt's as fperm. That algorithm I used my official PB single. Another one again. The final algorithm I use for this case is one of the bars on the back. This is an algorithm I found myself, and it's all RUB. And as I do that D move, I regrip here and do U and D prime at the same time. So again, faster. Next up is J. J, I just use the standard algorithm RU F prime T perm. And AUF needed. Next is L perm. For this I have 3 algorithms. Well, I use 2 of them, but I have another one that you could use if you want to. First one is standard R prime U L prime U2 R U prime R prime U2 R L. Now you need to actually execute the last L a bit differently. I execute as R wide, pushing up with my left little finger. My next algorithm for this case is the left-handed version of the J perm. Finger tricks are pretty much exactly the same for that as the righty one. So I've got that algorithm I learned recently. I don't use it in solves, but it's quite nice. I also think that that's actually optimal for keeping the 1x3 where it is. It's the same length as that, which is my main algorithm. But I don't really like the wide moves. Next, RA. This one is again similar to J perm, but with some U2 moves in there. U2, U2. Wait a second. Yeah, sorry. U2, U2, U, R, U2, R prime. So once again, just a J perm with U2, U2, and then I said U, R, U2, R prime, which is just like doing those 2 U2s and then a soon afterwards. Next I have the normal RB perm. For this I use the standard algorithm again. For this I have another finger trick that I use depending on my hand position, which is to do U2 prime R and then U2 after that, and then continue as normal. I use either. Next is T perm. Again I use a standard algorithm. I finger trick it a bit differently to start with. I hold my hand like this, so I can then do my U like that, and then I can avoid regripping. Whereas if you were to start like this, you then have to regrip. I then have another T perm which is pretty much the same T perm as this one, except I have a U2 AUF afterwards. For this album, start the same. For the last moves here, instead of doing a U prime, do a U, F prime, and then you insert this pair. And that should skip AUF. NA. This I use a standard algorithm, which is RU, R prime U. This puts the edges, corners to be swapped. It's these 2 edges and these 2 corners, which is just J perm. U2, and just undo the setup moves. So it's F prime with almost left index. Next is NB. For this I have 2 different algorithms I use. First one is RUF. Finger tricks are a bit weird, so I'll show you this one again. The inverse of this algorithm is good, by the way. Probably include that in the description as well. The algorithm I use for this case, I learned quite recently. I still forget to use it some of the time. It's RUD. Use Z, and then same D prime as from E perms. Okay, so again, do U and D prime at the same time. Do that with D prime, U and D at the same time. Okay. Next is V perm. For this algorithm, I use one similar to my RUDF perm. I actually found that RUDF perm from this V perm. This algorithm I found myself as well. Finger tricks for this one are fairly standard, but as I do this D, I'm going to re-grip my thumb to here. Do an R prime, U and D prime at the same time. R2, U prime, R2, D, R2. So again, that's R prime, U, R prime, U prime. This sets up my finger here to do D prime nicely. D, R2. Finally, Y perm for the, usually I just use a standard algorithm. F prime like that again. Finger tricks are normal, except another algorithm for the Y perm that I use, it'll have a Y2 from the normal case. One is GA. Here I have headlights on the left, block on the front. For this algorithm I use standard Now, I don't actually usually rotate for the last bit. I usually do it with F moves. Just to set up for that case again here. Usually, here I will do F prime U, sorry, F. So that's R2 U wide. That's my GA perm. For GB, I have 4 algorithms, although they're all the same one executed differently really. Headlights in the back, block on the front. First one, F prime, U prime, F, which is just the inverse of the previous algorithm. Simple. Second one is when the block is on the left here. That is L prime, U prime, L, Y prime, and then continue with the normal algorithm. The next one is block on the right. Again, R prime, U prime, R, rotate. Just the inverse of my GA. The last one is just a different way of executing the one where the block's on the right. R prime, D wide prime, F. Just you include the rotation in the U move. So it's kind of a cross between that one and that one. So it's finger tricks for that are R prime, D prime, like that, F, continue, that's normal. Next algorithm is GC. So this one is when you have the block on the front, headlights on the right. For this I use a standard RUF alg, R2, F2, R2, and an R perm. Cancellation at the end as well as the beginning, which give you that. Finger tricks for this, R2, F2 is double flick, U2 double flick, U2 prime double flick, regrip here, 1 F, R2. Final case is GB. This algorithm, I just use the inverse of that algorithm for GC. So block front left, headlights on the back, F prime like that, U2 prime, U2 wide, F2 double click again. Another way I actually do the F prime at the beginning is like that with my right index. Both I find are just about equally as fast.